Dear students, today we are going to start with Chapter 4 Business Services. To begin with, what are business services? Business services are general terms that describe the work of specialized nature that supports a business but does not produce a tangible commodity, which means business services, it is the term, use a general term which we use for services or works of specialized nature which are there to support the business, but actually they do not create any physical commodity. These also imply an interaction between service provider and the customer. In this, there is an interaction between the service provider or the customer. Business services include what kind of services are there that helps in supporting business, that supports the business. These include banking, communication, transport, insurance, warehousing, etc. If you will observe, without these services, business cannot survive in the market. In the recent past, the role of service sector in the Indian economy is growing faster than agriculture and industry. If you will observe from the last years, the services sectors are gaining more importance as compared to the primary sector. The significance of service sector is gaining momentum and has become a major thrust area in the field of business. That means they are gaining lot of importance in the field of business. Then we have features, characteristics and nature of services. The first feature is intangible. Yes, business services are intangible, that we cannot see them, we cannot touch them, we can only feel the services or we can only experience the services. The way I am teaching you, you cannot touch my teaching, you cannot see it physically, but you can experience it, you can learn it, you can feel it. So business services are intangible. We cannot find about the quality, whether it is good or whether it is bad, until we will use it. Till we will not take the service, we cannot comment on its quality. To judge about the quality, we need to experience the service. So business services are intangible. Then we have lack of homogeneity or inconsistency. That means usually we perform the services every time according to the demands and expectations of the customer, because services are provided by different service providers. Each and every service provider is different person and they will provide the services in different way. Like banking services provided by the government bank, banking services provided by the private sector bank, or maybe banking services provided by the foreign bank. So all these services will be different. So lack of homogeneity, that means they are not same. Then we have inventory. Inventory means that we do not have to maintain stock of services. Services will be produced and consumed at the same time. We cannot maintain the stock. It cannot be possible that I'll fill a box of my teaching and I'll hand it over to you whenever the customer will come. No, we have to produce the services immediately when the customer wants the service. Then is non-transferability or inseparability. This means we cannot separate the service from the service provider. It has to be with the service provider. For example, these are produced and consumed at the same place only. You cannot take away the services of the doctor. Like we are purchasing something from the market, we'll take that product from the seller and we'll take it to our home. We'll purchase and take it to our home. But if you're taking our services, that services will remain with us only. You will just experience our services. Customer participation and involvement. To experience a service, the participation of the customer is essential. That means if you want to provide the telephone services, there must be customer to use the telephone services. So there must be customer to make or receive a call. So these are the features of services. That means intangible, lack of homogeneity or inconsistency, inventory, non-transferability or inseparability, and customer's participation or involvement. Then there is difference between services and goods. This we have already done in chapter 1 also. So just read it yourself. Then types of services. Services are of 3 types. First, business services, then social services, and then we have personal services. The first services are business services. What are the business services? Basically, business services are those services which are used by business enterprises. And what is the main motive behind using these services? To carry on business activities smoothly, so that there should not be any problem in running the business. For example, banking, insurance, transportation, warehousing, communication, etc. Then we have social services. Social services include those services which are carried voluntarily. No one is forcing us. We are doing it by heart in order to achieve the social goal or to uplift the society. Basically, these services are done by the government, by the business enterprises, like planting of trees, anything we can do, and sanitation services, simple educational services in the slum areas like this. Then we have personal services. These services differ according to service provider. This depend upon the customer's demand and preferences, how the customer want to use these services, like tourism services, restaurant services, etc. So we are going to discuss about business services. Various kinds of business services are banking, insurance, postal and telecom communication services, warehousing services, and transportation. We have to cover banking and insurance in our video only, in our syllabus. Now we have meaning of banking services. So the question is, what is bank? Banking is institution which attracts money or deposits for the purpose of being lent to industry or trade. That means bank will accept the deposits from the general public. बैंक में जनरल पब्लिक अपनी सेविंग्स को डिपॉजिट करेगी एंड बैंक विल यूज दोज डिपॉजिट्स टू लेंड मनी टू द other persons. जो फैक्ट्रीज हैं, इंडस्ट्रीज हैं, business houses and general people who want to take loan from the bank will use these deposits to lend money to the others. So bankers are not merely money lenders, they are accepting money also. Bank lends when what it borrows from other. Bank जो लोगों से borrow करता है, that means the savings of the people, bank will lend that to the other person. Bank is a buyer as well as seller of money, and bank earns a margin of profit by lending money which it borrows. So बच्चे, suppose bank is giving you interest on your deposits. How that interest will be given? आपकी दी हुई मनी को बैंक विल यूज टू लेंड टू अदर्स. आपकी सेविंग्स को बैंक यूज़ करेगा, कुछ परसेंटेज साइड में रखेगा, स्टैट्यूटरी लिक्विडिटी रेशियो, सो दैट वेन एवर एनी वन नीड्स द फंड्स दे कैन विड्रॉ इट फ्रॉम द बैंक. ऐसा तो नहीं होगा ऑल द पब्लिक विल नीड द फंड एट द सेम टाइम. 25-30% RBI रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया फिक्सेस द लिमिट. उतना परसेंटेज बैंक साइड में रखेगा एंड रेस्ट ऑफ द अमाउंट बैंक विल, रेस्ट ऑफ द सेविंग्स अमाउंट जो लोगों ने सेव किया है, डिपॉजिट किया है, दैट अमाउंट विल बी यूज बाय द बैंक टू लेंड मनी टू आउटसाइडर्स. Bank will charge interest from outsiders normally at a higher rate, and जो interest लोगों से receive करेगा उसका कुछ percentage he will pay to the savings depositors accounts also, the account holders. So what will happen here बच्चे, suppose बैंक अपने loans पे 10% charge करता है and बैंक अपने interest पे लोगों को deposits पे देता है 6%. That 4%, extra 4% will be the income of the bank, right? Then we have definition of bank. According to Indian Banking Regulation Act, banking means accepting deposits of money from the public for the purpose of lending or investment. That means we are accepting money from the public, and the main motive behind is that we are using that to give to others. According to T.G. Hart, a banker, who is a banker, is in the ordinary course of the business, he receives money which he pays by honoring checks of persons whom or on whose behalf account he receives it. That means banker का मतलब बच्चे एक normal person who is working as his duty, who is accepting checks from people, accepting deposits from people and making payments to others on behalf of one particular person. So these are the main services of banker. Then we have types of bank account. There are 5 types of bank account. The first bank account is savings deposit bank account. Saving deposit bank account बच्चे, simply a person can open a saving deposit account by depositing a small sum of money. Basically, to develop saving habit among people, the saving bank accounts are offered. Person can withdraw money from his account whenever he needs and can deposit whenever he is having the surplus. So depositor, whenever he will open the saving bank account, he will be given a checkbook, he will be given a passbook. All the amounts what he is depositing and what he is withdrawing, all the entries will be made in the passbook. And usually the saving bank account earns a lower rate of interest as compared to fixed deposits, right? Then second is current deposit account. Current deposits account, basically current account opened by the businessman, and the account holder can deposit and withdraw money whenever desired. जब account holder का मन करता है, he can deposit or withdraw the money from that. Withdrawals are always made by check. जो भी आपने withdrawal करने current account से, that should be by check, and overdraft and credit facility is given on the this account. no interest will be paid on the current account. And second thing is bache, rather the bank will charge some service charges from the customer, right? Then we have recurring deposit account. Recurring deposit accounts mean a depositor can make deposit a fixed amount उसने every month for a fixed period deposit करनी है, and after that fixed period he will be paid that amount on the maturity. 6 months, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, whatever be the time period, उतने time period के लिए आपने हर month एक fixed amount deposit करनी है, and then the amount together with interest, आपने जितनी amount deposit की with interest maturity पे that will be repaid to you. And the जो interest है on this account, recurring deposit account, is more than the saving account. Then we have fixed deposit account. Fixed deposit account बच्चे इसमें होता है कि you are going to deposit the money into the bank one time only for a fixed period of time, for a specified period of time. That may be from 6 months to 5 years. Longer the period, higher the interest. आप जितने लंबे टाइम के लिए डिपॉजिट करोगे उतना ही आपको इसके ऊपर इंटरेस्ट ज़्यादा मिलेगा. एंड वेन एवर यू विल बी डिपॉजिटिंग फंड्स इन द अकाउंट, डिपॉजिट में यू विल बी गेटिंग वन रिसीप्ट फ्रॉम द अकाउंट, FD रिसीप्ट जिसे बोलते हैं बच्चे, एंड यू विल बी गेटिंग हाइएस्ट रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट ऑन फिक्स्ड डिपॉजिट्स. देन द लास्ट वन इज some multiple option deposit account. Multiple option deposit account बच्चे, it is a combination of saving account and fixed deposit account, or current account or fixed deposit account. So what happens here is बच्चे कि whenever your deposits increases exceeds a particular limit, उसके बाद हम आपके deposits को बच्चे fixed deposits में convert कर देते हैं. And what happen in this account, the depositor can enjoy the liquidity of saving or current account and rate of interest of fixed deposits. When the amount of deposits exceeds a particular limit, then automatically the amount gets deposited or transferred into the fixed deposit. जब लिमिट एक्सीड कर जाते हैं तो हम उसको फिक्स डिपॉजिट में कन्वर्ट कर देते हैं, एंड देन दैट यू विल बी गेटिंग हायर रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट ऑन दैट. सो दीज आर द 5 types of bank accounts. Now important services provided by bank. The first service is bank draft. What is a bank draft? This is a check drawn by one bank against funds deposit into its account. एक बैंक जो उसके अकाउंट में डिपॉजिट्स हैं फंड्स, उसमें से दूसरे बैंक के ऊपर इशू करता है, चेक ड्रॉ करता है, विदड्रॉ. बैंक ड्राफ्ट इज कॉल्ड अ चेक इशूड बाय वन बैंक on behalf of the amount in its account to another bank, authorizing the second bank to make payment to the individual whose name is written on the draft, and the second bank will make the payment to the individual on their behalf. Basically, it is a financial instrument through which money can be remitted from one person to another, that we can pay money from one person to another. In this bache, we pay money to bank in advance for bank draft, and bank charges certain commission for us for issuing the bank draft. Then is banker's check. Banker check is a document which instructs the bank to pay certain sum to the third party whose name is mentioned on the check, and usually acknowledgement hoti hai, guarantee hoti hai that the bank will make payment to this particular party. Then we have overdraft. Overdraft is the arrangement or the system in which a customer having current account is allowed to withdraw money more than the balance in his account. Current account पे मिलती है, बिजनेसमैन को मिलती है, जितना उनके अकाउंट में बैलेंस है, they can withdraw more than from their account. उस बैलेंस से ज़्यादा अकाउंट विड्रॉ कर सकते हैं, बट अप टू अ सर्टन लिमिट. दैट डिपेंड्स अपॉन द क्रेडिटेबिलिटी ऑफ द पर्सन, क्रेडिट वर्दीनेस ऑफ द पर्सन, एंड फॉर एन एग्रीड पीरियड. आफ्टर दैट पीरियड ही हैज़ टू रिटर्न द मनी, एंड यूजुअली इंटरेस्ट इज चार्ज ऑन द अमाउंट ओवरड्रॉन. जितना एक्स्ट्रा आप विड्रॉ करोगे, आपके बैलेंस के अलावा जितना आप विड्रॉ करोगे, यू हैव टू पे चेक ऑन इंटरेस्ट ऑन दैट, एंड दैट रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट इज क्वाइट हायर. Then we have cash credit. This is the arrangement under which borrower is allowed to withdraw up to certain limit. And then short, medium, long term loan, basic loans that are being taken from the bank, lump sum funds taken from the bank, repayable on expiry of a particular period, specified period. It may be 3 years, it may be 1 year, it may be more than 5, 10, 15, 20 years, right? And it may be secured, it may be unsecured also. And usually loans are repaid in installments. So these are the 5 important services provided by banks. Then we have digital payment, electronic function of bank, or e-banking. What is e-banking? Digital or electronic payment is a system of making payment online without involving physical exchange of money, that we are making payment to any other person but we are not actually involving money in this. The money is transferred from one person account, that is payer, to the account of receiver online through इंटरनेट के थ्रू आप एक पर्सन के अकाउंट से दूसरे पर्सन के अकाउंट में मनी ट्रांसफर कर रहे हो, बट यू आर नॉट यूजिंग एनी फिजिकल एक्सचेंज ऑफ मनी. What are the benefits of e-banking to customer? It is very clear that it helps in making digital payment and it will be transparent. It will provide you 24/7 services. It is convenience to use, that you need not to move here and there and you can use it through your mobile phones also. It provides you financial discipline. That means it is recording each and every transaction. Unlimited access, that means it is offering unlimited access. You are not bound to work or take banking services in the four walls of the banks only. You can use it anywhere. And less risk, because you need not to carry cash with you while traveling. Then what are the benefits of the e-banking to banks? Competitive advantage, that they can provide better services to their customer as compared to their competitors. Unlimited network, that they can now the working is not fixed to their banking only, it can to their bank branch only. Work जो customers हैं, they can work through anywhere. Any PC connected to the modern and telephone modem और telephone से connected होंगे, any system can Wi-Fi से connected है, then they can you do the banking work. Then reduce load on branches, workload divide हो गया बच्चे, because online आप working कर रहे हो तो branch के जो persons they are working over there, they can focus on some other work also. Then different methods of e-banking. There are 6 methods: debit card, credit card, NEFT, RTGS, ATM, e-cash or digital cash. We'll discuss them one by one. What is debit card? Debit card is the facility offered to account holder who is having the account in the bank to make payment up to the amount of balance in जितना उनके बैंक अकाउंट में. बच्चे बेसिकली व्हेन वी डू शॉपिंग थ्रू एटीएम कार्ड से हम पेमेंट कर रहे हैं आउटसाइडर को, किसी अपने सेलर को, एट दैट टाइम दैट कार्ड बिकम्स द डेबिट कार्ड. जितना आपके अकाउंट में बैलेंस है आप उतनी अमाउंट तक मनी स्पेंड कर सकते हो. एंड यूजुअली बच्चे जब आप वहाँ से स्पेंड करोगे आपके अकाउंट से मनी ट्रांसफर हो जाएगी सेलर्स अकाउंट में. देन बैंक विल चार्ज ऑब्वियसली इंटरेस्ट ऑन दिस. देन इज क्रेडिट कार्ड इज अ बैंक अकाउंट विदाउट हैविंग बैलेंस इन इट. क्रेडिट कार्ड का मतलब है बच्चे आप फंड्स को यूज़ कर रहे हो, आपका बैंक अकाउंट ओपन हुआ बट इट इज़ नॉट एक्चुअल बैंक अकाउंट, आपने बैलेंस नहीं मेंटेन करना इसमें. And it enables the card holder to have overdraft facility up to the limit given to it. जितनी लिमिट दी है उस लिमिट तक यू कैन यूज़ द ओवरड्राफ्ट फैसिलिटी. एंड क्रेडिट वर्दिनेस, जो कार्ड आपको दिया जाता है दैट इज़ अ प्लास्टिक कार्ड इशूड, एंड इसके ऊपर आइडेंटिटी और सिग्नेचर्स होते हैं ओनर के, एंड दे कैन यूज़ द फंड जितना उनका क्रेडिट वर्दिनेस के अकॉर्डिंग बैलेंस मेंटेन किया होता है, 2 लाख 3 लाख 4 लाख, इट डिपेंड्स अपॉन द टाइप्स ऑफ कार्ड. यू कैन यूज़ योर कार्ड अप टू दैट पर्टिकुलर लिमिट, एंड एवरी मंथ जितना आपने यूज़ किया होगा यू नीड टू मेक द पेमेंट accordingly. Then is NEFT. NEFT means National Electronic Fund Transfer. Under this method, the funds are directly transferred from one account to another. Direct transfer will be there. There will be no inconvenience of using the check or withdrawing the check or anything. Directly funds will be transferred. And नेफ्ट जो है बच्चे, नेफ्ट की फैसिलिटी देयर इज़ नो मिनिमम वैल्यू कंडीशन कि आपने कोई मिनिमम वैल्यू की नेफ्ट करनी है. एंड द सेकेंड थिंग इज नेफ्ट इज़ अवेलेबल इन 75,000 ब्रांचेज ऑफ बैंक. Remember, NEFT जो है it is available in 75,000 branches of the bank, but NEFT करने में it takes time. Then real time gross settlement, RTGS. RTGS is immediate transfer of funds. The difference between NEFT and RTGS बच्चे है दोनों ऑनलाइन ट्रांसफर्स, बट नेफ्ट में it takes time, मिनिमम 2 आवर्स, एंड RTGS में इट इज़ इमीडिएट ट्रांसफर ऑफ फंड्स. इसीलिए हम RTGS को सेटलमेंट इन रियल टाइम भी बोलते हैं, बिकॉज यहाँ पे रियल टाइम सेटलमेंट होती है. आपने जिस टाइम फंड्स को ट्रांसफर किया इमीडिएटली फंड्स विल बी ट्रांसफर टू द पर्सनस अकाउंट. देयर विल बी नो टाइम लिमिट, कोई वेटिंग पीरियड नहीं होगा RTGS में. देन द मेन फीचर्स ऑफ RTGS आर, द फर्स्ट थिंग इज द होल सिस्टम इज कंट्रोल्ड बाय RBI. Second thing is RTGS is suitable for high value transaction. Minimum value is 2 lakh. You have to do minimum 2 lakhs work on RTGS. Then the payment will be final payment, and a bank will charge fees for RTGS. And there is 8-digit core banking. You have to use core banking. Core banking में you will be assigned 11-digit code that you have to use for RTGS. Then is ATM, automated teller machine. Automated teller machine, but it is a machine that means that is a mechanical and automatic teller which is actually doing the work of the teller. Teller का मतलब क्या होता है? बैंक में एक ऐसा person that will help us how much balance is there in our account, bank account, what are the transactions in our account. So automated teller machine बच्चे अपने आप काम कर रही है 24/7, और एक पर्सन की टेलर, जो एक फिजिकल टेलर पर्सन था बैंक की ब्रांच में बैठा हुआ था, द ऑटोमेटेड टेलर मशीन इज रिड्यूसिंग द वर्क ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर पर्सन, ह्यूमन टेलर को रिप्लेस कर रही है. एंड इट विल, यू हैव टू इंसर्ट अ प्लास्टिक कार्ड इनसाइड इट एंड द मशीन विल आस्क फॉर द कोड. आफ्टर गिविंग द कोड, you can take any information from the machine. The last thing is e-cash or digital cash. It is a new concept of online payment. E-cash is used over internet, email, personal computers, or on mobile. Digital cash is similar to that of electronic fund transfer between banks. Basic examples are Paytm. Most common example is Paytm. So there are 5-6 methods of e-banking: debit card, credit card, NEFT, RTGS, ATM, e-cash, or digital cash. So this was all about the banking services. Now we are moving to the insurance services. What are insurance services? Insurance services बच्चे, these are the services. This is a contract between insurer and the insured. Two parties के बीच में एक contract है in which the insurer agrees to make good the loss of insured on happening of an event in consideration of a regular payment called premium. That means कि जो insurer है, the company that is guaranteeing insured को guarantee दे रही है customer को कि in case any event will happen, mishappening will take place, we will compensate you for the loss if you will pay us the premium. आप हमें premium pay करो, कोई भी mishappening होगी, we will compensate you. You are very much aware about the functions of insurance. So the agreement, so insurance में बच्चे premium pay करके insurance company guarantee करती है to take over your loss, to share your loss with you. The agreement of contract is in writing. इंश्योरेंस का जो एग्रीमेंट होता है वो राइटिंग में होता है बच्चे, एंड दिस इज नोन एज इंश्योरेंस पॉलिसी. अकॉर्डिंग टू WA Dinsel, there is a definition: insurance is a device for the transfer of the risk of individual to an insurer who agrees for a consideration called premium to assume to a specific extent losses suffered by the insured, to undertakes the losses, right? Then we have various terms, important terms. There are 4 terms. First is insurer. Insurer is the party, is the individual or firm known as usually it is insurance company who promises to compensate the losses. This is insurer. Insured customer of the insurance company means the person who gets compensation of loss. He pays regular amount of premium. Happening of event, it is the subject matter or the kind of losses covered under the policy. And the premium subject matter बच्चे इसमें simple हो गया. If you are taking fire insurance policy, the loss will be compensated only if the fire will occur. So the fire is a subject matter. And the premium, it is the payment amount paid either quarterly, half yearly, or annually by the insured to the insurer for getting compensation at the time of loss. Then there are principles of insurance. There are 6 principles of insurance. These are principle of utmost good faith, principle of insurable interest, principle of indemnity, principle of contribution, principle of subrogation, principle of causa proxima, principle of mitigation of loss. First principle is principle of utmost good faith. This principle states that insurance is a contract based on faith. The insured and insurer must disclose all material facts to each other. They should not hide anything from any material information from each other. And in case they will hide any information, if in case customer will hide from the company or later on insurance comes to know about it, they can refuse to pay compensation. Failure to disclose material fact by any of the party will make the contract void. So there should be all the important information should be disclosed. Then the principle of insurable interest. Principle of insurable interest says the insured must have an insurable interest in the subject matter of the policy. अगर आपका बच्चे किसी के अंदर किसी की भी लाइफ में इंटरेस्ट नहीं है या किसी प्रोडक्ट में इंटरेस्ट नहीं है तो आप क्यों पॉलिसी लोगे? सपोज आई विल बी हैविंग इंश्योरेबल इंटरेस्ट इन माई व्हीकल, माई स्कूटर, बट आई विल नॉट बी हैविंग इंश्योरेबल इंटरेस्ट इन एनी ऑफ द व्हीकल मूविंग आउटसाइड. सिमिलरली हस्बैंड विल हैव द इंश्योरेबल इंटरेस्ट इन द लाइफ ऑफ हिज वाइफ, बट किसी थर्ड पर्सन की लाइफ के लिए, स्ट्रेंजर की लाइफ के लिए तो हस्बैंड इज नॉट गोइंग टू परचेज द इंश्योरेंस पॉलिसी. सो वी शुड हैव इंश्योरेबल इंटरेस्ट in the thing for which we are going to take the policy. And always remember, in case of life insurance policy, इंटरेस्ट मस्ट बी प्रेजेंट एट द टाइम ऑफ टेकिंग द पॉलिसी. जब आप पॉलिसी लेते हो उस टाइम पे देयर शुड बी इंश्योरेबल इंटरेस्ट. एंड इन केस ऑफ फायर इंश्योरेंस, इंश्योरेबल इंटरेस्ट मस्ट बी प्रेजेंट एट द टाइम ऑफ टेकिंग द पॉलिसी एज वेल एज एट द टाइम ऑफ लॉस. सो in different situation, the time for insurable interest depends. The third principle is principle of indemnity. Principle of indemnity says that insurance is not a contract of profit. The purpose of insurance is that to bring back you in your previous position. That means बच्चे कि आपने जितनी मर्जी अमाउंट की पॉलिसी ली हो, जितना आपको लॉस होगा the company will compensate you for that particular amount only. For example, you have taken a policy of 2 lakh, but because of fire the loss was of 1,50,000. So the insurance company will compensate you for rupees 1,50,000 only, not more than that. उससे ज़्यादा आपको कंपनी वो नहीं करेगी, कॉम्पनसेट नहीं करेगी. एंड रिमेंबर द प्रिंसिपल ऑफ इंडेमिनिटी इज नॉट एप्लीकेबल ऑन लाइफ इंश्योरेंस बिकॉज इन दिस केस यू कैन नॉट एस्टिमेट द वैल्यू ऑफ अ पर्सन's लाइफ, loss suffered because of a person's death. Then principle of contribution. Principle of contribution का मतलब होता है बच्चे कि in case you have taken insurance policy for the same product from more than one company, then all the company will together contribute you to the total amount. ऐसा नहीं होगा आपने 2 लाख की पॉलिसी ए कंपनी से ली, 2 लाख की बी कंपनी से ली तो ए कंपनी भी आपको लॉस देगी, बी भी देगी. नो, the loss, suppose the loss is of 1,50,000 and you have taken the policy of 2 lakh from A company as well as for B company. Both the companies will pay you together collectively 1,50,000. ऐसा नहीं होगा कि 1,50,000 एक पे करेगा, 1,50,000 and you will get 3 lakh. No, both the companies will pay you together. For this we have the formula, how you will get the formula compensation from one particular insurance. Sum insured with the particular insurance, आपने एक कंपनी से कितना इंश्योरेंस लिया हुआ है, that multiplied by your actual loss divided by total sum insured. Total sum insured means A plus B के साथ आपने टोटल कितना लिया. फॉर एग्जाम्पल मैंने आपको अभी एग्जाम्पल दिया कि आपको एक कंपनी से आपने 2 लाख की पॉलिसी ली एंड दूसरी कंपनी से आपने 3 लाख की पॉलिसी ली. सो अगर आपने एक कंपनी का कॉम्पनसेशन निकालना है जिसने आपको 2 लाख की पॉलिसी ली, सो यू सम एश्योर्ड विद 2 लाख. एक्चुअल लॉस मान लो आपका 1,50,000 हुआ, सो दैट विल बी 1,50,000. टोटल सम इंश्योर्ड विल बी 2 लाख प्लस 3 lakh, दैट इज 5 lakh. दिस विल बी अ total sum insured. In this way you will be calculating the amount contributed by particular insurer in compensation. Then we have बच्चे the principle of subrogation. This principle says that after paying the compensation, once the company will pay the compensation, the company will step into the shoes of the insured. That means बच्चे जिस product के जिस भी आपने property के against insurance pay की है, एक बार आपने insurance का compensation pay कर दिया है, now the company, insurance company will take over the product. Damaged product company purchase कर लेगी and उसके बाद company उसको sale करके अपना जो मर्जी funds arrange करे. But this damaged product will not be retained by the customers. Then principle of causa proxima, that means the loss, the cause or reason for the loss must be related to the subject matter. That means अगर आपने fire insurance ली है तो while claiming compensation, goods को actually fire के साथ ही loss हुआ होना चाहिए. It should not be because of theft. The cause mentioned in the policy should be the main cause of the demanding the compensation. Then mitigation of loss. Principle of mitigation of loss says we should take care of the product well. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि हमने इंश्योरेंस परचेज की तो then we are not going to take care of the product. We should take proper care of the product even after taking the insurance as we were taking earlier before taking the insurance policy, right? These are the 7 principles of insurance. Then we have बच्चे insurance and assurance. Do not consider these two terms same. Insurance means, the term insurance and assurance are not synonyms. These are having different meanings. Assurance is a contract in which the sum assured is bound to be paid sooner or later. आज नहीं तो कल आपको पे करना ही करना है इसमें. Then in case of insurance, some will be paid, compensation will be paid only and only at the time of loss only. लॉस के टाइम पे आपको मिलता है. एंड द टर्म इंश्योरेंस इज यूज्ड जब रिस्क अनसर्टन होता है, एज द फायर में ब्रेकआउट और इट में नॉट ऑल्सो. जैसे जब आपका रिस्क अनसर्टन होता है ना बच्चे, हमने फायर इंश्योरेंस ली, आग लग भी सकती है नहीं भी लग सकती. हमने थेफ्ट इंश्योरेंस ली, चोरी हो भी सकती है नहीं भी हो सकती. ठीक है, सो दैट इज कॉल्ड इंश्योरेंस. अगर हम ऐसी इवेंट के लिए लेते हैं विच इज़ सर्टन, आज नहीं तो कल पर्सन की डेथ तो होनी ही है ना, सो दिस इज कॉल्ड एश्योरेंस. जहाँ पे इवेंट इज सर्टन, दैट इज कॉल्ड एश्योरेंस. द वर्ड इंश्योरेंस इज यूज्ड व्हेन कॉम्पनसेशन इज गारंटीड टू बी पेड ओनली ऑन द हैपनिंग ऑफ द इवेंट. गारंटी यहाँ पे कहाँ है? इवेंट की हैपनिंग पे. एंड इन केस ऑफ एश्योरेंस द पेमेंट ऑफ कॉम्पनसेशन इज अनसर्टन, दैट वी कैन नॉट इज सर्टन, सॉरी, दैट मीन्स कि यू आर अवेयर कि आज नहीं तो कल हमें पेमेंट मिलेगी, ईदर ऑन द डेथ ऑफ द पर्सन or on the maturity of the policy. So there will be difference between insurance and assurance in your book that you are supposed to read from your book. Then types of insurance policy. There are 4 types of insurances. These are life insurance, fire insurance, marine insurance, and health insurance. So we are going to discuss them one by one. Life insurance. Life insurance involves 2 types of risk. One risk is dying too early and the other risk is dying too late. Sometimes what happened, the people who are having the fear that they may die too early, they will take the insurance policy to support their family. अपनी family को economic independence दिलाने के लिए, financial support दिलाने के लिए, they will be purchasing the economic policy, insurance policy. And when people think of living too late, कि बहुत life में long जीना है उन्होंने, so what they will be doing, they will be taking insurance policy, और after a maturity period जितने years की आपने ली, उसके बाद अगर आप survive कर रहे हो तो you will be getting the funds in return, and that fund will help you to survive in your old age. आपको अपनी old age में आपको financial autonomy provide करेगा, financial freedom provide करेगा. So what happens in case of insurance बच्चे, if you will take the insurance policy suppose for 25 years, 35 years, say up to the age of 70, अगर आपकी 70 years की age के बीच में कोई भी miss happening होती है, the insurance company will pay the compensation to the nominees. In case nothing will happen up till the age of 70, at the age of 70 exact जब आपकी maturity हो जाएगी policy की, you will get the funds from the insurance company that will help you in your future. So basically बच्चे जो premium है, principles of indemnity, principle of contribution and principle of subrogations, they are not applicable in life insurance policy. And what are the main features? The contract of life insurance is a contract of utmost good faith. No information should be hidden, all material facts should be disclosed. अब कोई हार्ट पेशेंट हो वो अपनी information hide करे, that is wrong. The insurable interest must be present at the time of taking policy. Insurable interest at the time of maturity is not necessary. This I have told you earlier also. And life insurance contract is not a contract of indemnity. That means we cannot find out the value of actual loss. It is not possible to compensate the value by fixing the value in advance, right? So these are the 3 main elements of life insurance. Then we have fire insurance. In fire insurance, the one party, that is insurer, in return for consideration, that is premium, agrees to compensate or indemnify the other party, that is insured, for the financial loss which the latter may suffer due to damage to the property insured by fire. Fire में बच्चे in simple words, within the specified period of time or up to a specific amount जितने की आपने policy purchase किया, the insurance company will assure you कि if any loss will be suffered due to fire, due to the same reason as mentioned in the policy, the company will share the loss with you, company will compensate the loss. And the paper document containing terms and conditions will be known as the policy. And what the policy will contain? Name of the parties, description of the insured property, sum for which the property is insured, amount of premium payable, period against which the policy has been taken. And usually the period for general insurance is 1 year. And remember, company will pay you losses or compensation only for the accidental fire. It should not be intentional fire. And all principles are applicable on fire insurance. What are the main features, elements? The insurable interest should be present at the time of taking policy as well as the time of loss. The contract of fire insurance is a contract of utmost good faith. Same, we have to disclose all information. Principle of indemnity is strictly applicable. That means you will be getting compensation up to the amount of loss only, and compensation will be paid only for the reason mentioned in the policy, that is due to fire. That is the principle of causa proxima is strictly followed. These are the main elements of fire insurance. Then we have marine insurance. Marine insurance बच्चे, when the company undertakes to compensate the losses because of the water, marine losses को के against आपको surety provide करते, that is called marine insurance. And marine risk, basically these are the risk of sea like storm, collision, capture, seizure, sinking of ships, etc. So again, there is a contract between insured and insurer, and usually in this case the insured may be the cargo owner, gooड्स का जो शिप का ऑनर है, और द फ्रेट रिसीवर. द इंश्योरर is also company is also known as underwriter, and again premium will be paid, everything will be done. But बच्चे in case of marine insurance it is of three types. First is cargo insurance, then hull insurance, and then freight insurance. Cargo insurance का मतलब होता है that we are taking insurance for the goods or कार्गो कंटेन्ड इन द शिप एंड द पर्सनल बिलोंगिंग्स ऑफ द क्रू एंड पैसेंजर. मतलब जो सामान उसमें पड़ा है शिप में, हम उसकी इंश्योरेंस करा रहे हैं, दैट इज कॉल्ड कार्गो इंश्योरेंस. देन हल इंश्योरेंस का मतलब होता है द होल शिप इज इंश्योर्ड. इट कवर द वेसल ऑल्सो, इक्विपमेंट ऑल्सो, फर्नीचर, फिटिंग, टूल, सब चीज़ें कवर होती हैं इंक्लूडिंग द शिप, दैट इज कॉल्ड हल इंश्योरेंस. एंड देन वी हैव फ्रेट इंश्योरेंस का मतलब होता है बच्चे, समटाइम्स जो कैप्टन होते हैं या जो ओनर्स होते हैं शिप के, दे आर अफ्रेड कि अगर रास्ते में डैमेज हो जाता है कुछ गुड्स को, देन दे विल नॉट बी गेटिंग द फ्रेट, रेंट नहीं मिलेगा उनको अपने उसके ऊपर जो भी कॉस्ट वो स्पेंड करेंगे. क्योंकि देखो इस केस में क्या होता है, द फ्रेट इज पेड बाय द कस्टमर. जो गुड्स रिसीवर होता है ना, दैट पर्सन विल पे द फ्रेट. तो उसको डर होता है कि अगर गुड्स को रास्ते में कुछ भी हो जाएगा, द गुड्स विल नॉट बी रीच टू द कस्टमर, देन हाउ वी विल गेट द फ्रेट. सो इन दिस केस द कार्गो ओनर, गुड्स जो आपका शिप ऑनर होता है, दैट गेट्स द freight insurance done. In case any damage will be done to the goods, he will get the freight from the insurance company. What are the main elements of marine insurance? The insurable interest should be present at the time of loss. Again, the contract is called contract of utmost good faith, so all information should be disclosed. Principle of indemnity is strictly followed. That means up to the amount of loss to be compensation, and it should be according to the reason of damage should be C perils only, causa proxima principle, right? Then we have last is health insurance. Health insurance provides the payment of medical expenses in case of illness and the insured टू द इंश्योर्ड पर्सन और हिज फैमिली. जिसकी भी हमने पॉलिसी ली हुई है उसकी इलनेस के लिए या मेडिकल एक्सपेंसेस पेमेंट करते हैं, दैट इज कॉल्ड दिस इंश्योरेंस, हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस. दीज इंक्लूड्स बेसिक मेडिकल एक्सपेंसेस, that means expenses of hospitalization and doctor services. Major medical expenses means cost of catastrophic, that sudden disaster illness. Sometimes they include long-term hospitalization, means nursing home charges for elderly people. Medical supplements filling the gap between Medicare programs of Social Security and disability income, that means it replaces the income lost by the insured while the insured is unable to work. So these are the main types of coverages provided by the health insurance. Now bachche, you have to read the differences between life insurance and general insurance. It is given in your book, and the other difference between life insurance, fire insurance and marine insurance, this also you have to read. And till then, take care. Thank you. Take care.